Hey guys, JV here sharing some awesome sage advice from the one and only VP of PR and Marketing at Bethesda, Pete Hines. Uncle Pete tweeted something the other day that got me thinking about how I react when someone doesn't like what I like. I think it's something a lot of us do instinctually. It's like this caveman gut reaction where we freak out when something isn't the way we want it to be or expect it to be. It's also amplified in the modern social media age where people can express whatever they want in 140 characters. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's genuinely hard to explain why you feel the way you do, even if you wanted to. Just a heads up, this video might feel a little preachy, and I definitely understand that I need to practice more than I preach. Anyways, here's the tweet from good old Uncle Pete. There's a watershed moment I hope all of you have at some point, realizing that people not liking something you love has nothing to do with you. The moment you understand that someone who hates a game, band, or movie you love is not an indictment of you is freeing. I hope you get there. The end there is classic Pete Hines, a little bit of snark there from Uncle Pete. But this message to me has a few meanings. On the surface, it's pretty basic. You shouldn't get upset when someone doesn't like what you like, for whatever reason. For example, Joe Schmo over here says, Destiny 2 feels exactly the same as the first game, I just don't get the hype. Honest to God, my first instinct was like, listen here, buddy, I'll tell you what to fucking get hyped about, you piece of shit. It's totally unhealthy, and I definitely take it personally for some reason. And for me, I know, speaking personally, I create these fake sides, you know, people who do like something, people who don't like something. And when you get into that mode, the line gets blurred between defending your own opinions and personally attacking someone else because they don't agree with you. And those are totally different things. Seriously, different ends of the spectrum. Also, there's that element of bandwagon / fear of missing out when there's a lot of people saying one thing and it doesn't exactly align with what you think. And again, the worst thing is to pretend that someone's opinion is immediately directed at you. And I'm not talking about someone like tweeting at you and saying, listen here, buddy, like I did, and you know, this is the way it is. I'm talking about people just sharing their general opinions. If the popular thing to say is, you know, Destiny 2's beta sucks, haha, you know, it's the worst, kind of like Mass Effect Andromeda's facial animations are the worst, haha, then, you know, taking it personally, if you do that, things get nasty. Like I said, I've done that a few times, probably more than a few times, but this time I was thinking that in my mind. I wasn't saying anything when I was reading, oh, Destiny 2's beta sucks, but this time I took a step back, and it's because of what Pete said. The first thing to realize, and something you can't control, is that people are going to share their opinions, no matter how ill-informed, no matter how much they may not know what they're talking about or have zero intention of being informed. They're going to share their opinions. It's going to happen. There's nothing you can do to stop that. So with that in mind, there are going to be people out there who are not going to agree with you. And then the second thing to realize for me is that your enjoyment of that thing that you love has nothing to do with someone else's enjoyment of it. Sure, if you also enjoy something that someone else likes, then you can share that enjoyment, and that's really cool. But if you happen not to, and someone in fact is malicious about it, then that shouldn't take away from your own enjoyment. These things are just completely separate. And if someone happens to go out of their way to shove their opinion down your throat because they think they're right, then, you know, a proper, oh, okay, response is probably as good as it gets. So obviously Uncle Pete was not thinking about Destiny 2 when he made this tweet, but yeah, like I said, it really resonated with me when I was thinking about Destiny 2 because it's really in the spotlight right now. Here's a few realities about the Destiny 2 beta and a lot of the negative opinions, and I want to frame these in such a way without sounding defensive, like I'm trying to prove that Destiny 2's beta is good and not terrible like people are saying, but these are realities. The first big one is that people who did not like the first Destiny game probably are not going to like Destiny 2. That's just a fact. Having streamed 2 hours of it yesterday and played a little bit for recording today, it's a similar game. It is very similar to the first game. That's just the kind of sequel it is, and people expecting something otherwise are going to be disappointed. I played a lot of the original Destiny and really enjoyed the PvE aspects of it. Really only the PvE. I never really touched the competitive PvP part of Destiny because that's just not my thing. The first time I played through the story, even though we know how, you know, bad it was, and going through strikes and raids for the first time, those are some of my favorite experiences on Xbox One. That being said, I definitely criticize the shortcomings of the original game, and I'm going into Destiny 2 with more realistic expectations about the story and about the world. The next reality is that people tend to have unrealistic expectations for a beta, and that's what the Destiny 2 beta is. It's a beta. Now, we can argue about what a beta should and shouldn't be, and I think that's part of it. I don't want to do that in this video, but generally speaking, in the past 5 years, beta has changed from you're testing the game to more like here's a tutorial, here's what you can expect. But you'll see a lot of criticisms like the beta was too short, or I got boring really quick, because I think a lot of people forget that this is a beta. You'll see things like the beta was way too short, or the beta got boring quickly, and people forget that this is a beta. You're not supposed to be constantly playing this thing. It's not supposed to keep your attention for more than 2 hours. Also, there's an expectation that the game will be balanced in the beta, but that's what the beta is for. And so a lot of the time you'll see people saying things like, you know, this is unbalanced, this is too bad, this is whatever, and that's valuable feedback. I'm sure Bungie, if they're doing their jobs, they are listening and taking note and hopefully making changes on the things that aren't right. So that's what a beta is about. Destiny is a live service game where they can push out patches really quickly. The first game was like that, and hopefully Destiny 2 was improved to where they can push those out even more quickly. And so we should absolutely expect the issues in the beta to be addressed for launch. The next reality is that people have different expectations for sequels. They just do. There's the crowd of people who plays the first game, and then when they look at the second game, they say, I want drastic changes. I want this to feel like a brand new experience, but still within the world, still within the IP. And this is especially so if those people thought that the first game could have been a lot better than it was. You know, people that were like, I wasn't exactly so excited with the first game. I want them to make major improvements. On the other hand, there's another crowd that says we want slight changes, slight tweaks. We want an improved version of pretty much the same game that we played before, because we really like that first game and we don't want it to be changed that much. Think about that from Bungie's perspective. What do you do in that situation? Do you go route 1 or route 2? And the answer is absolutely not simple. I think though that when you look at the sales numbers of Destiny and how well it did for Activision and Bungie, it's more clear and it makes more sense that they would go towards route 2 and make slight changes, which is pretty much what they've done. Like I said, from what I've played, I think Destiny 2 falls into the latter category. It is an improved version of the original game, and I think that makes a lot of sense. If you wanted major changes, I don't know if you get that with this game. The final reality is that people shitpost. They really do, all the time. And if you see someone putting out this hot take and not willing to explain it, you're probably running into a shitposter. And so if you're getting annoyed by that, then you probably need to look in the mirror and realize, okay, this is ridiculous. We're encountering many different forms of the realities I've laid out here, and I'm sure you guys can think of a billion other things. But again, I'm trying to frame this in a way where it's not defensive. It's just saying, you know what, this is actually how people are feeling, whether they're willing to explain it or not. So if this is getting to you in any way and you're feeling defensive about Destiny 2, which I don't think you need to, I mean, it's a product, you don't need to defend it. You know, it's not your obligation. You know, Bungie's not paying you to defend Destiny 2. But if you find yourself in that position, willingly or not, I think it's great advice to listen to Pete Hines' words. Remember why people are reacting the way they're reacting before you go into full-on keyboard warrior mode and just bang out that essay on your keyboard on some random comment section. Personally, my plan is to play all of the PvE content with all of the classes and different variations before I give like a formal impressions or review of the beta. That's really my plan. So far, I've really been blown away by the PvE content. You know, the stuff that I liked in the original game. The first story mission in Destiny 2's beta is really cool to me. Huge set pieces. It's really awesome. Stuff is actually happening. And then the strike is really cool too. It's huge. I was so surprised and shocked by how much ground you cover in that strike. It's actually incredible. And of course, I've got a few minor gripes and little things I think they need to tweak, like cooldown times and ammo drops. Some of those things are frustrating, but hopefully they're listening to our feedback, and as a live service game, those things should be addressed far sooner than later. That's it for me, so turning it over to you guys, what are your thoughts on the Destiny 2 beta? Whether you've played it or not, whether you're waiting for the free and open, whatever it may be, What are you thinking about it so far? Is it convincing you? Is it saying, no, it's more like the first game, I'm not going to pick it up? Let me know what you're thinking in the comment section below. If you stayed till the end and enjoyed the video, click the like button and subscribe for more content. Check out my latest videos by clicking the links on screen. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook so you don't miss another video. Sign up with Juniper to receive exclusive discounts on shirts, hoodies, and more at the JV merch store. Click the link for more details. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.